Good morning, this is Dominic with TheBackVlog. It's been a little while since this happened, but I finished probably my game of the year, Death Stranding 2. This thing's a freaking masterpiece, dude. And I'm still going and playing this on occasion to get more trophies, get the platinum for it. There's a lot to do still. So this is now my session game for whenever I want to go back to it. That and Elden Ring, but I digress. Death Stranding 2, it perfects pretty much all of the mechanics from the first one to the point where I don't know if I can go back to the first one. And I love the first one, but like they add so many more gadgets and gizmos in this, and the day and night cycles and the weather. It's such a dynamic game, and it feels like it's a living, breathing world. Especially there's a lot more porters in here too. And I saw this video recently of this guy who literally walked across the world with the porters, like at their pace, just to like see like what would happen. And it's like it is a reminder that like the workings of Death Stranding 2 are happening with or without you. And it's such an immersive game, and it looks freaking gorgeous, dude. There are points in this where you can't fathom the fact that you're playing a video game because it looks so good. Like we, as a society, a video game playing society, have come so far, and the technical advancements in modern gaming are beginning to plateau. Not beginning to plateau. They have plateaued for a while, but like they were kind of like going like that, and now we're like reaching like this. Now we're reaching this, the straight line. Death Stranding 2 is the proof that we no longer need to consider technical advancements, and we can go back to cartoon-ass video games. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I can't say I like the story as much as the first one, and that's probably just because of my emotional attachment to the first one. Like I've said in the past, like Death Stranding, the first Death Stranding was there at the right place at the right time for me. And I don't know if anything can take that experience. You know, that's not to say that Death Stranding 2 isn't fucking maniacal, especially the ending. And I don't want to go into the ending, but there's guitars, there's a battle, and there's babies. And that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, this thing really feels like it really gets all end of Evangelion on you. It's kind of wild. It explores a bunch of ideas, because Kojima had I think he had a script or like a storyline or something for an original idea of Death Stranding 2, but then COVID happened, so he knocked it completely out, and started anew. And I think what he has to say here about evolution is really interesting. Again, I'm not going to go into specifics because it is still somewhat new, and people should experience it for themselves. But the way that he discusses evolution in this and relates it to what actually happened during the COVID-19 pandemic is super interesting. Who knew the Jeff Bezos of this game would be the villain? I didn't see that one coming from a mile away. That one I'm gonna leave in because I saw that coming a mile away. What I didn't see coming a mile away was his true identity. And I was playing this with my fiance, and whenever I saw who the true identity of Jeff Bezos was, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And she was so confused because it was like it was a character from the first one, but it was like such a minor character that if you didn't actually play the game, you would never, like, would know. So, like, she was confused about, like, why I was popping off. And I was like, this fucking guy, I've always fucking seen this guy, and he's always pissing me off. And he really is. He really is. If you know, you know. The stealth elements in this game are a lot more fleshed out here than they are in the first Death Stranding as well. And I've really, like, this goes back to the perfected mechanics, but the stealth in this feels so good. Like, it feels so good to stealth. In the first Death Stranding, I was like balls to the wall combat all the way. And that's just because I found it really fun to, like, raid meal camps and stuff for their materials. But here, like, I will literally take 20 or 30 minutes of my time whenever I could take 5 minutes and just, like, you know, take them head on. I really like the stealth mechanics in this. It's really fun. And like I said, the gadgets and gizmos that you get in here that aid you in the stealth are so fun to use. I love the fact that there's a music player now. You can actually listen to music while you make your deliveries. I don't know why that wasn't in the first Death Stranding. There's absolutely no reason why that wasn't in the first Death Stranding. But now we have that in Death Stranding too. The monorail system, I love that. I don't know, they added so much more transportation too. I don't know. The mechanical operations of Death Stranding 2 is going to make it difficult for me to ever go back to Death Stranding 1. But I'm torn because I love the story of Death Stranding 1 so much. And, like, all of the extra lore and stuff too. I didn't really read this stuff in the corpus this much this time. And, you know, with how much time I spent in the original Death Stranding, like, I spent time, like, reading all of those emails and catching up on all of that lore. And that was really interesting. I don't really have the time to do that with Death Stranding 2. I don't know what else to say at the moment, and I know I'm going to be kicking myself whenever I upload this, and then there's like 10 more things I wanted to add just because I'm so overwhelmed by the experience. But yeah, Death Stranding 2 is probably my game of the year. Not like... It's my favorite game of 2025, because that's like the only game from 2025 that I played, but it's my favorite game that I've played in 2025, I think. So we'll see if that gets topped, but perhaps I'll make a top 10 or top 50 or something at the end of the year with all the media that I've produced or consumed, and Death Stranding 2 will be probably at the top of that list, so we'll see. But yeah, please play this game. It's a freaking masterpiece, dude.